Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Martin Dreyfuss Show. We got more breaking news involving the Disney versus Desantis war. And the breaking news is that the Reedy Creek government is dissolved. I don't know exactly what that means for Disney, but I want to get into the breaking news and kind of the information surrounding this Florida Senate vote.
This morning, Republican Governor Ron DeSantis escalating his fight against the house that Mickey built, pressuring state lawmakers to repeal Disney World's unique self-governing authority, the little-known Reedy Creek Improvement District that dates back to the late 60s.
They will be considering the congressional map, but they also will be considering termination of all special districts that were enacted in Florida prior to 1968, and that includes the Reedy Creek Improvement District.
Do you see this guy smirk in the back? I find it amusing. Yeah, you want to repeal, it's clearly a target at Disney. The whole bill's a target at Disney. There's no other special, status being given to a corporation like it's being given to Disney in Florida or in the world. But the reason that Disney gets this special status is because of the economics that it brought to Florida. I mean, it pretty much built Florida. It brought people to Florida. Before he got there, Walt Disney being key, Florida was literally a forest and it didn't have a huge population, but the government there decided to allow Walt Disney to buy all this land and to build Disney World. And in return, Orlando is one of the biggest tourist destinations in all of America. So him doing this is causing a war that I don't believe is just going to be one-sided. This is, Disney's going to respond, and they might just, up and move Disney World if they feel like it. At least I think that's what Walt would do.
How unprecedented is it for a governor to take on Disney in Florida?
It's highly unusual to see an out-and-out fight between one of the most powerful and important companies in the state.
Political insiders say the battle is really over Florida's new parental rights and education law.
And that's the stupidest part to me. This whole bill that's targeting Disney to remove their special status in the Reedy Creek Improvement District is because of the Don't Say Gay bill. And then the Don't Say Gay bill, it's to my knowledge that, we are not allowing elementary students to discuss if they're gay or not and to discuss if they're transgender or not. And to my knowledge, if it is just elementary students, I don't think we should be talking about sex and gender identity at that point anyway, just because kids are so influential and they need to be able to just kind of make that decision on their own in a non-judgmental environment. If they're gay, they'll figure that out. If they're not gay, they'll figure that out. And they just shouldn't be judged based on their decision. But it shouldn't be a forced point in school to teach in elementary school gay versus non-gay and start influencing kids' minds based on elementary school teaching perspectives.
Which opponents, including some vocal Disney employees, call the Don't Say Gay law. Disney's CEO Bob Chapek, initially non-committal, saying after the governor signed the bill into law, "Our goal as a company is for this law to be repealed by the legislature or struck down in the courts."
This state is governed by the interests of the people of the state of Florida. It is not based on the demands of California corporate executives.
I find it amusing that he calls them California corporate executives. This is an ego war, because I got news for you, Mr. DeSantis. If you get rid of Disney World, Florida's economy is going to lose large percentage points. Not just money, not just a couple $1 million. You're going to lose a percentage of your economy. A large percentage of your residents are going to have to find other jobs. You're taking on a war that you probably shouldn't take on. Now, is it Disney's right to really go in and say, you don't have a right to make a law, or you do have a right to make a law? Absolutely not. But you got to keep the fight within the bounds. You can't just extend the fight past its premises because you feel like it. And that's kind of where I guess both men have gone in this instance.
Disney's special self-governance, which covers 40 square miles, allows the company to provide many of its own services, like fire departments, road construction, and building and zoning.
Today, I want to share with you some of our ideas for Disney World.
Without Reedy Creek, historians believe it's unlikely Uncle Walt would have realized his dream in Florida.
It's clearly political. The governor and Republicans in the legislature, at least many of them, seem to be trying to punish Disney.
It's ignorant. Of course Disney wouldn't be in Florida without this. Disney didn't stay in California because of this same issue. Disney was either going to go to St. Louis or to Florida. He chose Florida because of the highways, but both governments were willing to allow him to have free reign over his zoning and his fire and his police, because that allowed him to build his own hotels, his amusement parks where he wanted, and not allow, the governments to interfere with how fast and what he wanted to do. So St. Louis was the other option. So if at the time in the 60s, the government in Florida was like, no, you can't have this, then it would have been in St. Louis. It's not a question.
Disney World is twice the size of Manhattan, or for another reference, about the size of San Francisco. It straddles two counties, Osceola and Orange County. We reached out to the managers of those counties to ask them whether they could take on the responsibilities if the state decides to eliminate the Reedy Creek Improvement District. And the managers in those counties said right now it's hypothetical, so really no comment. Craig?
All right. Kerry Sanders for us there in Florida. Kerry, thank you.
It's very interesting overall. The next question I do have is, what does this mean for Disney? And I do just want to get into this now.
This is WFTV Tonight.
This is for taxpayers. Unfortunately, that's not exactly what we're looking for. I thought it was. And I don't know, what does dissolving Reedy Creek mean for Disney? Thought that was the video that we needed. Honestly, I don't think there's a full answer on that yet, so I'm gonna do some research and maybe we'll come back and we'll talk about that as soon as I can give you a full educated answer. So that's the news right now. We got more news on the way, of course, but this political, egotistic Desantis versus Disney war is just getting worse. Let me know your opinions on A, should Disney even have the Reedy Creek District? B, should Florida repeal the Reedy Creek District? And C, how do you feel about the Don't Say Gay bill? Let me know in the comments. Let's have a discussion. I hope you guys have a great day.